Tansei, I'm Krisanachkate. Welcome to APTN National News. Thank you for joining us. It has been just over 3 years since 40-year-old Jeannine Ermineskin went missing in Edmonton. Now, the Edmonton Police Service is teaming up with a number of organizations to launch a billboard campaign in Alberta, hoping for more tips to come in. The EPS has partnered with the Native Counseling Services of Alberta, Reach Edmonton, and Crime Stoppers to launch a billboard campaign with Ermineskin's name, photo, and contact information for reporting tips. Jeannine Ermineskin was last in contact with her family on January 6, 2022, and was known to frequent central Edmonton. 3 months later, the EPS issued a notice of her disappearance. Investigators are again asking the public for help in finding Ermineskin. Ermineskin is 5'8" with brown eyes and long dyed blonde hair and a thin build. She was last seen wearing a jacket, black pants, and a red hoodie. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477. Here's a short video from EPS that includes interviews with Ermineskin's sister and former partner.
Her boyfriend last heard from her at about 2:30 that day. She continued to remain active on her phone up until about 10 p.m.
I know if anybody's seen her in anything, they should just know that she does have family. She has a big family.
The family really needs a closure. They need something.
Jeannine Ermineskin, she's was 38 years old at the time that she went missing, and she went missing on January 6th of 2022.
It was always her personality, her jokes, her sense of humor.
We haven't had any credible sightings. There's been people who think they've seen Jeannine, and everything that's been reported to us, we've followed up on it. We've never been able to confirm that it was her since January 6th. So I do believe that something happened to her on the 6th.
It's hard to know a family member is gone and missing.
If you have any information, you can contact Crime Stoppers or call the police non-emergency line.
To British Columbia now, where the Office of Police Complaints Commission is investigating numerous Vancouver police officers for neglect of duty in the case of a missing Indigenous woman who was later found deceased. APTN's Tina House has that story.
It was in early September of 2020 that Chelsea Poorman and her sister Paige decided to go out for a few drinks in Vancouver. Chelsea had just moved to the city to join her sister and their mother from Saskatchewan a few weeks earlier and didn't know anyone else in Vancouver. That night, the sisters became separated on Granville Street and Chelsea went missing. Family and advocates spent hours searching for her, putting up posters, and her mother, Sheila, filed a missing persons report with Vancouver police. But Sheila says they did not treat her daughter's disappearance seriously at first.
The way that the police officers didn't do a diligent job investigating at first, like the things that they were missing, the way that they treated me and my daughters. Like they didn't do a news press release right away. They didn't put Chelsea's picture up on the missing persons report. The fact that they didn't accept the fact that I told them that Chelsea was a vulnerable person.
Poorman also says police did not request to view surveillance videos from surrounding businesses where Chelsea was last seen for weeks, and when they finally did, the videos had been erased or recorded over. She claims it also took the police 11 days to finally put up her picture and 3 months for them to accept Chelsea was a vulnerable person, and then they finally got the homicide unit involved. Sheila filed a complaint with the Office of Police Complaints Commission in 2021. Andrea Spindler is the Deputy Commissioner for the OPCC.
To ensure that there was an arm's length investigation into the matter, at this point in time, New Westminster Police have been tasked with carrying out in this investigation. Our office has been providing civilian oversight of that investigation. And in addition, the OPCC determined that it was in the public interest to appoint a retired judge to review the investigation once it has been completed.
Spindler says if the officers involved are found to have neglected their duty, they could be given various penalties, such as suspension without pay, retraining, and potentially being fired. Criminal charges could also be recommended against officers in some cases. In May of 2022, Chelsea Poorman's body was found at the back of this abandoned mansion in an affluent neighborhood on Vancouver's west side. The property has since been put up for sale. Vancouver police have ruled her death not suspicious, but have kept her case open. Her mother says she doesn't agree with that and says her daughter's disappearance and death is highly suspicious. She says Chelsea was disabled. She walked with a limp and could not extend her arm fully due to a car accident. She's grateful for the OPCC investigating, but still struggles every day with the loss of her daughter.
It's taken a huge toll on myself and my daughters, mentally. Just not knowing what happened, just not, having no information, there's still no closure to her case as to what happened.
If you have any information about the case of Chelsea Poorman, you're asked to contact Crime Stoppers or the police. Tina House, APTN National News, Vancouver.
Assembly of First Nations National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Neepanak has written an open letter to President Donald Trump one day after of him being sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. In the letter posted to social media, Woodhouse-Neepanak congratulates President Trump and hopes they can work together to build a constructive relationship. She then reminds him that Canada is home to sovereign Indigenous tribes with inherent rights to their lands, waters, and resources that predate colonial systems. She says decisions made in Washington and Ottawa directly impact Indigenous people on both sides of the border. And she calls on President Trump to strengthen the free trade agreement between the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and to support Indigenous to Indigenous trade. We now want to tell you about this week's second web poll question. Over on our website, we ask, would tightening the Canada-US border negatively impact Indigenous communities? Your answers are yes, no, or unsure. You can go to our website at www.aptnnews.ca to have your say. APTN's Hockey and Cree host John Chabot recently gave back to a community to help some Indigenous youth in the north. That story when we come back. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Recently, APTN Hockey and Cree's John Chabot traveled to Chesterfield Inlet with First Assist to run a camp for some young hockey players. Here's a look at their experience.
Right now we're in Chesterfield Inlet, running a hockey clinic, going to the schools, talking to the kids. We were here last year, worked out really, really well. We want to continue the program. The kids are very receptive, so we want to make sure that we keep moving forward. So we're going to do 3 different things. We'll do them twice each, both from different sides.
First Assist is an education first initiative, and we use hockey to get those or help those kids get an education. That's what we try and tell the kids, is use the sport as a tool to get an education, whether it be a high school education, whether it be a university education, and make it part of your life. You don't have to make it the only part of your life. Make it part that's going to help you move forward.
When we're stick handling, again, you guys all know your hockey stance, right? Show me a hockey stance. Let me see your hockey stance. That's right. Bend your knees, almost like you're sitting on a chair, right?
So this trip, Andrew Ansanen and Jonathan Diaby, also on Shoresy, they are with us because, I'm an older guy now, 62, and I've been doing some of this stuff since I played in Montreal, so back in the 80s. First, it's got to get younger. and finding like-minded individuals, and Andrew and Jonathan are very much like that. They see the benefit in what we're doing.
Big slide, slide, slide. Good. For how big the community is, there's a lot of kids that play hockey, which is nice to see. And they're very attentive, they listen, they work hard. So it makes our job easier as coaches.
The effort and also the improvement every time we step on the ice, kids are getting a little bit better, and that's the thing, that's kind of the message we try to tell them. It's every day we're gonna get a little bit better, and by the end of the week we'll be that much better. So you see the improvement whether right after 30 minutes with those kids for sure.
That's it, good.
That's it, Ricky!
They're really good with the kids.
Let's go!
Like some people care about the hockey, but nobody cares about the kids and the hockey. They seem to care about the kids more than the hockey. It gives the kids more confidence, it seems. Yeah, it translates to the rink and school, other things.
When First Assist comes into town, the skills and development grow exponentially. But the positive message that they bring, that the belief in yourself, I think it's incredible. I think it's a great message. And it's a message that teachers can't just give because they see us every day. But when they see professionals come in that have made it and are doing things, and that they're interested in our players, get to know their names, and they're calling them by their names, and then you can see the kids respond to it. It's incredible.
That's it, stick with it, good job.
When Russell will post, or there's a community announcement that First Assist is coming, John Shabbat, everybody knows. All the kids, even if they haven't been out, they've been sick, or you hear them in the school or you hear them in the community, are you going out? Hey, they're coming, right? So it builds and builds. It's something that they all love, and they all love the guys that come because they relate to them on such a different level on the ice and off the ice. That's what John's done. He's not just made it about hockey, he's made it about relationships, and those relationships, these kids, really with them. I'm not trying to get emotional, but it's such a good program. And they love these guys, and the guys love them, and our kids feel important.
Great job, John. That's what it's all about, the youth. An artist from the Sandy Lake First Nation in Ontario is gearing up for an Eastern Canada tour, and he's looking to take some aspiring new Indigenous artists along for the ride. Here's our APTN News intern Veronica Blackhawk with those details.
Just 2 weeks ago, Asenabe released his new single, Edge of the Earth. The Sandy Lake First Nation member has gone global, playing stages in Germany, the UK, and most recently, Australia, where he spoke with APTN News.
We played the show in Tasmania, which was known before, known as Lutruwita.
Ishkade Records discovered the Ojibwe artist in 2020, the first female Indigenous-owned record label in Canada. Now 5 years later, he's gearing up for his first headlining tour at home.
One thing about that tour that I'm also so excited about is I put a call out recently to find local Indigenous artists, and because we'll be playing some cool stages, I think it'll just be really cool, especially even for the local communities to kind of see the First Nations artists that are even within their own communities.
The Eastern Canada tour begins in early February in Northern Ontario, the area he grew up in, visiting places like Sioux Lookout, Dryden, and Red Lake. He plans to finish on the East Coast. In 2023, Asenabe won 2 Junos for his first EP, Here and Now.
I grew up in a trailer in Northern Ontario without electricity and running water, and now I'm here.
For Songwriter of the Year and Alternative Album of the Year. It was the first time an Indigenous person won these awards. He told APTN News that his songwriting is a reflection on life and growth.
I usually kind of wrote from this darker place. So to kind of write a song from a place of health, a place of being happier, a place of growth, a place of self-acceptance.
As someone who got help along the way, Asanabi wants to return the favor. During his upcoming tour, he wants to share the stage with other Indigenous artists.
We seen that at the Junos this past year, where there was like the most Indigenous artists ever nominated, and I don't think it's not that there's more artists. It's just that there's artists are finally being recognized and being seen, and there's just so many artists that come from so much smaller communities.
His advice for others looking to do the same? Attend music conferences and network. You can purchase tickets for the tour on his website. With APTN News, I'm Veronica Blackhawk.
Thank you, Veronica. Treaty 6 rapper Eekwol has recently released her now 10th album. We'll speak to her when we come back. Stay with us. To the east, Charlottetown -13, Fredericton -27. Cartwright -22, Happy Valley Goose Bay -24. Gaspé -16, Quebec City -19. Peterborough -13, Ottawa -14 and sun. Sudbury -15, Wawa -13. Churchill -19, Thompson partly cloudy -30. Sun and Gimli at -17, Winnipeg same temperature -17. Swift Current -10, Regina -12. Meadow Lake -12, La Ronge, sun and -15. Rain in Peace River at 0, high level -7. Sun in Lethbridge at 0, Medicine Hat -3. Campbell River 5, Bella Coola 3. Sand Spit 7, Smithers -3. Old Crow -11, Dawson -11. -2 in Fort Simpson, Wrigley -11. -19 in Sax Harbor, Inuvik -6. Arviat -14, Well Cove -18. In Arctic Bay -27, Aglulik -21. Treaty 6 award-winning rapper and activist Eekwol, also known as Lindsay Knight, who lives in Saskatoon, has recently released her 10th album titled Tomorrows. That album was just nominated for a Sask Music Award, and it was produced by Justin Knight, Boogie the Beat, among many others. The rapper has also traveled across North America for years, doing various music tours and speaking engagements with Indigenous youth. We spoke to Eekwol in Saskatoon. Here's that interview. Eekwol, thank you so much for speaking with us. Congratulations on being nominated for a Sask Music Award.
Oh, thank you.
Eekwol, can you tell us about the thought behind creating your now 10th album?
Yeah, holy, that I'm old. No. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like we all have our gifts and our life journeys, and there's something to do with making music. For me, it's just something that I have to do. And being the 10th album, yeah, as you know, I just keep doing it. I never know where it's going to go, so it's a really nice surprise to find that out yesterday.
Yeah, definitely can't stop for sure. Tell us what it was like working with Boogie the Beat and others on that album.
Oh, it was awesome. Boogie is he's like one of my cousins, basically, musical cousins, and we've been working together for many years. So yeah, it's an honor to be able to have that really good relationship with somebody so talented. And then of course my brother, Justin Knight, who we've worked since the beginning. He was there at the very beginning, and we kind of, went our separate ways with family and life and everything, but now we're, back at it, cooking up heat in the studio. So yeah, so that really reflects in this album.
I love it. I also know family is so important to you. I remember you were performing at a youth conference years ago, and you did this beautiful song with your son beside you as you performed. He was a lot smaller at that time. Yeah. Is that same love for family in this album?
Absolutely. It's very much, the whole reason that I create music, and I think it hasn't changed. It's funny because you know how kids are, and teenagers, and now he's 16, so he's not really having it with me, and you know, hey, I'm a mom rapper, I'm cool. He's like, oh my God, you're cringe. But I don't care. I still continue to write that music for these next generations and for my babies who are growing up, but they'll always be my babies. So yeah, family is very important. It reflects in pretty much every track on the album and pretty much everything that I write. Definitely.
That's beautiful. I also want to ask you about your thoughts on the current Indigenous music scene. Are you seeing it bigger now than when you first started? And do you have a favorite Indigenous performer right now?
Ooh. That's a dangerous question for me. I don't, that's for sure, because I have quite a few. And one of the things about being in this industry for over 20 years, I've really seen a lot of changes. And as a musical auntie, now I'm really inspired by a lot of these younger generations and what they're putting together. And it's different from what I've done and from the opportunities and the technology that I had back in the day. So the scene is definitely different. I wouldn't say that it's like bigger. It's still, it's just different in the genres have expanded. Online presence has become more important than being on the stage, in my opinion. And yeah, just different ways of doing and promoting and existing as musicians. But that core, value, like what you just said, Creason, about family and community and belonging is still there in the lyrics and in the performance. I still see what makes Indigenous music is still very much within all of these upcoming artists and emerging artists. So it's really beautiful, and I wouldn't pick a favorite. There's quite a few out there, and if I start naming them, I'll feel bad after because I missed one.
That's a safe answer. I like that one. Finally, yeah. Eekwol, what is your message to our Indigenous youth who are having a hard time out there?
For that, it's really tricky, but it's all about, knowing that you're worthy and you're valuable, and this is your land. This has been your land for thousands of years. Always remember that you were here first, and this is, anyone who's treating you bad or being racist or whatever, just remember this is your land first, and the rest will follow. And learn about your history, and support Indigenous artists and people that are doing things, making music, support, stream those Indigenous playlists that are all over. You can find them. It feels really good to hear your own people singing about the stuff that you can relate to. I definitely have a lot of Indigenous music on my playlist.
Wise words there, Eekwol. We'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay. All right. Hi, Nanaskaman.
And that's your daytime newscast for this Wednesday, January 22nd. We're back again with your evening newscast in a few hours with brand new stories. Make sure to join us then. From all of us at APTN National News, hi miigwech, kwana. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next day.